So to your point, which is like, how do you manage that? And it's like, if it aids the culture, it's cool. If it detracts from the culture, it's got to go. Welcome to the best hour of Their Day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
We're here with the Bouchers.
The water people.
Ambassadors extraordinaire, Midstate CrossFit, Deadheads.
Badass box owners.
Badass box owners. Let's talk about being authentic at the box. You guys are so authentic, you've both left your jobs.
We did both quit.
Is that the definition of authentic?
Yeah, it isn't. It isn't.
Quit your job. You pooped on the boss's car?
Yep, I left.
He stole that printer. He stole that printer and beat it with a bat in the field. Yeah.
So you let's talk real quick. You were a paramedic?
Yeah. I still am a paramedic, but I am not employed, and I do not do any primary care as a paramedic.
You're employed by Midstate CrossFit.
Yeah, Midstate CrossFit is the bread and butter now for both of us.
No, you're right. That's a big talking point because so many people, like, I have a job, I can't leave. We have a husband and wife team with children.
Yep. That
have left their career, CPA, like a real job here, not whatever.
So, I would agree.
More specifically, like flight paramedic, right?
Yes.
High risk job.
For sure.
But comes with some benefits, right? Obviously,
yeah. I was working 7 days a month.
Right.
That's not bad.
A little bit of a lifestyle component to that.
Yeah.
And then CPA.
Accountant.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a CPA.
Okay. Sorry.
She has been a controller. She's just not a certified public accountant.
Got
but
it.
she is an accountant, a master of accountancy.
Yeah.
Works for nonprofits. Has worked public. Like,
you know how to do the books.
You know numbers.
Okay, got it.
Fuck yeah, she does.
Got it.
But that's awesome. And that's
She's
all within the last year.
Excellent at it. Excellent.
Got it. Spreadsheets. Terrible.
You invited me.
That was not good.
Boucher, you left your job, and then what happened to the numbers at the box?
So I left work on the aircraft 2 years ago, give or take. Yeah, something like that. And immediately I was able to put all of my effort into one thing. When I had two jobs, and I'm a husband, and I'm a father, and I give a shit about other things too, like, I was spread so thin.
You're president of the hooligans.
Yes, I am the president of many separate sections of hooliganism, and I like it that way. But when let me back up. When you're a paramedic, you go to work, or if you're a firefighter, or a first responder, when you're on shift, you have a job to do. There's a response that has to happen. There's a whole sequence of events that happens, and then you might have to cut paper on it. But when the shift is done, your work, your tasks are done. And I had, before Best Hour of the Day, absolutely zero coping mechanisms associated with, this is my figurative desk, this is the pile of paper that is the things that need to be done for the affiliate, and then it gets bigger and it gets smaller, but you have to manage it. Gabby pointed it, it's actually Gabby's analogy. She was like, there's gonna be a stack of paper there tomorrow too. But in my job, you're either dying or you're not dying. I'm there to do work or I'm there to not do work. Preferably,
it's a very, they're always finite scenarios.
Yes.
Yeah, which is like in the business world, it's like, I used to say this about the Navy, like, hey, we got to stay and get this work done. I'm like, we're never getting ahead. Right. At no point has the government ever been ahead on anything, and we're not doing it here today, boys. Let's just go home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I do every day at Best Hour as well. Like,
yes.
Hey, this will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about community because
we just can't get him to come in tomorrow.
Tomorrow. A lot of boxes will say community is their strong point. I think for Midstate, you may be one of the affiliates where that's true.
I definitely get like feelings when Fern says, tell me about your box, and it's what makes you the differentiator, and it's coaching and culture, and I'm like,
wah, wah,
yeah, but I'm like, ooh, but we do it really well, and so while I agree with you, it's almost like
Well, here's
How do you articulate it?
Okay, so that's the issue, right? So here's the distinction is this, which is if I'm just yelling platitudes, right? Just like I just step out of the office and yell bankruptcy, but you've not I declare bankruptcy. That's different than defining bankruptcy. What kind of bankruptcy, right? Chapter 11, like what are we talking about? Versus, hey, if in fact the differentiator is coaching and community, then define it. What do you mean like your coaches are better? Do they have resumes? Meaning like do you have a stable of level 3s, level 4s? Do they have specialty skill sets? Community, show me what it is that is unique about your community. Oh, we run this fundraiser, we generate this much money, we have these events, and this is what happened, and we did this for this family. I'm like, cool. You've now defined that. It is now objectively something that we could all look at and be like, that's legit, that looks good. But that's not typically how those two that's not typically how people use that. They're just like, hey, what they're saying is like, I'm proud of my thing. And I'm like, great, you should be. It's not a differentiating factor for you though.
We have like catchphrases that we use. Some of them I've stolen from Sir Fern, some I've stolen from Ackerman. Sometimes they just appear out of nowhere. But one of them is we support a gym rat lifestyle. So when I'm in my affiliate, I am absolutely advocating for people to just be there. Like we make couches and lounge areas and comfortable spaces for people to be in. We take people aside and have like real conversations about other things besides doing exercise quickly. And we really want to get into that mentorship, that advocacy. We say things like Midstate CrossFit is a family-friendly affiliate by definition. Like when you think of Midstate CrossFit, you just think of fit as fuck families. You think about people that have each other's backs. You think about people that want to do things together, want to throw down. Pat Sherwood, he says the equal parts hard work and laughter. Freaking love that quote. And we just tell people this over and over and over again. You're my athlete. We are your coaches. We want to do really cool things with you for a really long time and live the thing. Live the mission statement. We like say it explicitly.
What's the mission statement?
Yeah.
What is it?
The mission statement? Oh, I'm going to have to say it off the top of my head again. I'm so bad at my mission statement.
You just said you know it.
It's this long.
Oh.
Yeah, it's something along the lines. Yeah.
I'll turn around and read it.
Yeah, go ahead, read it for me.
We aspire to be a community of continuous improvement where every member feels welcome and supported along their journey
to better.
We want to be part of the change that looks to bring better
not only to ourselves but to our community.
Yeah, I can't read upside down, but
yeah, it is
feedback is we just make it shorter. Is the point?
Essentially, no, it's too late. Let me talk about mission statement and vision stuff. So one of the first things that happens at best hour of their day is you have to define your mission statement and you have to define your why and your vision. We didn't write these words. These words were given to us. Gabby and I were part of the beginning of Midstate CrossFit. Gabby was obviously utilized for all of her expertise for bookkeeping and paying the bills. I became a coach really early on, and I helped paint the murals on the wall. Like, we weren't the owners, but we were in it. We were all in right away. On Zen Planner, I am athlete 001. Gabby is 002. And so we were always there. We were always part of that. And when we bought Midstate CrossFit, in a really good time to buy a small business, January 1st, 2020, freaking awesome time. We were open for 70 days. I closed the gym in March. We closed for 77 days and opened up illegally. So that's when, a cop actually showed up at our gym, and I knew him because I'm a first responder. And I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Hey, Sarge just told me I had to come." I was like, "Yeah, do you want burpees, water? Like, what do you need?" But yeah, cops really did show up.
Go away. Yeah.
Yes. So when we think about our vision, it was almost handed to us like a brand. We bought a brand, and that brand is all of these family things we're talking about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
What about you, Gabby? What do you think? What do you think?
A very
yeah, Gabby does not know.
We've been listening to your husband talk.
What about you, Gabby?
Yeah. What about me?
What do you think makes the spirit of Midstate? By the way, go watch the documentary by Nate and crew, The Spirit of Midstate. What do you think makes that so authentic?
It's hard to put a finger on it, which is why having the best community.
He just spoke for 5 minutes and he didn't put a finger on it, so yeah, you might.
I also didn't breathe.
Yeah.
We'll let you try.
Yeah, but there's like a spirit in the room that like is hard to describe. It's always like that too. It's whenever you go into the gym, like you just walk in and you're like, man, I'm home.
Yeah.
Like, it's the second, it's our third space, you know?
Yeah, there's not all gyms have it, but I do think there are specific gyms where you go into and you're like, oh, this is a vibe. Like there's something here. Do you remember when we were at the Jersey Summit years ago at Gorilla Fitness?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, as the event was over, you and I did this before Dave asked us if we want to do drugs.
Did you?
We did.
Good job.
And I said, this is my favorite part of affiliate ownership.
Yeah,
when like
I
the
remember.
event's over, but the energy still exists in the building, right? And you just get to sit there and you get to absorb it. And for great gyms with great culture, it's just always there, right? It's heightened when you finish an event and you're just in there. And Jess and I had these scenarios where like you're just sitting there like, fuck man, that was a cool thing. That was cool.
It's cool to be intentional about it now, though. Midstate CrossFit, when that happened, just rallied together. We lost 25% of our total athlete pool.
During COVID.
Yeah, during COVID. We lost about, and this is like, we thought that the hard part was going to be letting the affiliate know that Uncle Brian and Auntie Gabby are going to now run this ship, and like, don't worry, it's going to be okay. No, we had the boogeyman. We had the boogeyman that we all now had to fight against. And that's what really calcified. I had our accountant. Gabby's not she does all the things, but we have an additional accountant. And he emails me for an accountant to email this. So shout out to Nick Koenig. He goes, hey, we're not going anywhere. He's at 5:30 a.m. We're not going anywhere. Midstate forever. Midstate Ohana, or like, and then he like writes his like the email script, and then we took Midstate Ohana. So I didn't make that shit up either. That's the thing about Midstate is I'm not even actually sure if I'm guiding the ship or if I'm just stewarding the ship.
It's a ship of
you're the
like
steward.
The whole
You're the
culture,
Yeah.
the culture does it. So we have things like our 6:30 PMers, and they're the Los CrossFiteros, and they do their thing. And we got our 8:30ers, and we've got our nooners. They call themselves the nooners.
That's pretty
Dude,
common.
we have a member, Mark. I love him. He's been bouncing around because he's retired. He's a former F-18 pilot, and he's been bouncing around, and he's creating gangs.
Yeah.
So he'll show up to a class for some period of time, and then he'll make that class a shirt. And then we'll walk in and be like, the fuck? Like, what? Like, it's like 6 a.m. for life. And I'm like, Mark, you're cheating on all these other gangs, right? So he's like making his way through all of the classes and like making them their own shirts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But like, so you had me read the Grateful Dead book just recently. Everything I learned from marketing, I learned from the Grateful Dead. And one of the examples in that book
You
is
finished it?
I did.
Is that the title of the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so one of their things was they weren't absolutely in charge of the brand. They really allowed deadheads to make art, create mixtapes, record the music. All of this was very different than like a standard business model in which like, this is CrossFit. This is how the letters look every time. This is how we're going to do the thing. And it's like, there's a bit of like,
Parrot heads are the same.
yeah. But yeah, exactly.
Is that Jimmy Buffett?
But when my athletes get to have their own version of Midstate and we give them like the double thumbs of approval, like that shit's dope. I didn't come up with that. You did. I now steal it, and we just do that over and over again. The 5:30ers have named a section where we put the dumbbells and kettlebells in the gym the Bear Cave. And I don't know how they do this.
Just 'cause the bears
yeah,
is
all the bear
animal,
themes
yeah.
and whatnot. And I don't know how they do this, but I have to coach them up. I have to keep the squirrels in line, and they do the
It's funny
warm
as a really hyper squirrel keeping squirrels in line.
Yeah.
It's like,
It works.
Motorcycle
It's working.
squirrels, yeah.
They'll do the general warm up. They will do the specific warm up. They'll get ready for the workout. And I don't know how they do this, but at 3, 2, 1, go. They have a bench press out, the barbell set. They've got some weights on there, and now we're doing the workout. It almost feels the same. It almost smells the same. And they're definitely going to do bench press every day for the rest of their life. And so now as a coach, and I'm a coach of coach. I'm not fucking around on the quality on the floor. I have to choose. Am I going to shit on their parade? And there's like 5 or 6 guys. and be like, no, today we're doing this particular thing? Or am I going to indulge them a little bit and allow them to have their bro sessions regularly?
I think
keeps them coming back for more.
Dude, I had this I've got 2 younger guys in my gym, and they walked in. I was sitting in the sauna the other day, and they're like, "Hey, we want to talk to you." And I was like, "I know what you want to talk about." All right. And they're like, "So we started doing this thing on Saturdays. I know you guys are having a bro session on Saturdays." And they were like, "But we don't want it to be a thing." We're like, "We know." And I was like, "Cool." They're like, "So how do we not get in trouble? We don't want you being involved." And I was like, "I don't want to be involved." But so to your point, which is like, how do you manage that? And it's like, if it aids the culture, it's cool. If it detracts from the culture, it's got to go. And I told them, I was like, hey, the way that you manage this is very simple. You just need to be part of the community. Which is like, listen, if you guys want to bro session, that's fucking fine. But like, if you never get in a class, then you're not part of the community.
This also comes with open communication. I think that Gabby and I used to always struggle with the hard conversations. And now I love hard conversations because I just know that it always comes from they know that right. I'm coming from a place and Gabby's coming from a place of care. I want the classroom experience to be amazing for everybody. I really do want it to be the best hour of their day. And I mean, through quality, I'll steal all your shit. Quality. And I'll tell you how I got in trouble with Instagram later. But at the same time, it's got to be transparent. That's where the mentorship and advocacy part comes in. If I'm gonna go have a hard conversation with you about the quality on the floor for everybody while you're doing something squirrely, just know that I'm just coming from a place of give a shit. I'm not trying to be a dick.
Well,
I'm not.
Also, it was like, I can't imagine that when you have the interaction, you're being a dick.
No, of course not.
Which is like, just don't be a dick.
You don't have this conversation.
Right.
Just from a place of care.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, dude, like, you know, like, dude, I remember one time we were out at the gym and there's this guy who was dropping in, didn't know any better. I don't know how he didn't know any better, but I was just like, you clearly don't know any better. So we're doing the whiteboard brief, like, we had runners set up right here. And the group is right here with the whiteboard brief. The runner's right here.
He's running?
He's running. And I was like, hey, just hang on.
Stop running for a second.
Stop running for a second. He's like, oh, what's going on? And I was like, I'll talk to you afterwards and I'll let you know why. But like, I don't have time to tell you why your self-awareness is 0 at this point. But I could have been like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And I'd be like, hey, just stop running for a second so that I can finish this. It's wildly distracting. You know?
Like an assault bike.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
and this is just one example. There's so many of these where like we're just trying to navigate this thing. We're all in it together. If a CrossFit gym is going to be your third space or your community center or your clubhouse, the enemy gets a vote too, and sometimes it's my squirrely athletes.
Right. Well, I think what you guys have done effectively, which is the art component of it, right? I think there's an art in everything, and what you guys have done, what I think uniquely well, is both of you understand rules and structure for very different reasons, right? Accounting, rules, structure, right? Life-saving, rules, structure. But it doesn't mean it can't be very fluid. It doesn't mean that it has to be rigid. Right? Be like, hey, there's nuance to all of this, right? And I think that ends up being the dance that people struggle to have, which is like, hey, we have structure here and we have rules. But like, it is fluid in some nature, and it's not like this is the box and it can't be broken out.
You know what
right?
you say?
We don't ever say we have rules. They're just guidelines. So.
Yeah, there are no rules at Midstate CrossFit. There are only guidelines.
But
that's really fun.
I would venture to say if you walked in there, you would see any number of things that like people are abiding by the rules. Like there's unofficial rules. Be like, oh, you just don't do that. And be like, it's not a rule, but like, don't do that.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So don't be dumb is rule number 2. Rule number 1 is take care of your brother, take care of your sister. That's some household rules.
Don't be dumb is a great rule.
Yeah, rule number 2.
Jay, take notes.
Yeah.
That's my first rule now. Don't be dumb.
Affiliate owners, if you want to grow revenue, what you need to understand is impact first. Offering the best classes and changing people's lives is how you get the revenue that you are searching for inside of the affiliate. And that starts with running fantastic classes here inside of the box. If that is something that you are looking for, we've got world-class coaches that are going to help you do that and help you run a better box. Everything from the coaching on the floor to the systems on the back end, we're going to cover it all. Book a call. We'll see you guys on the inside.
Talk to me about this. You guys have kids at the box, but no kids program or childcare, I should say?
We have a massive kids program. What was our summer cohort? 30
There are
kids?
like 32
They have a kids
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
You have a kids program.
But we
but
have no childcare.
you have no
within the
childcare, but
gym.
you let
Yeah.
people bring in their kids?
Yeah. I'm gonna let the mom. I'm gonna let
Yeah, let's
the
hear about
mom
that.
hit this one.
Let's hear about that.
Yeah, we fully believe that a child, having children should not be a barrier of like health and wellness. So
I agree.
why can't you bring your children to the gym? Why?
So if I showed up, I can bring my 2 kids. You can bring
100%.
just to class.
But you
Yeah.
can't.
Yes.
But where do they go?
We're blessed with a pretty decent amount of space. I'm gonna let Gabby continue. Keep going.
Okay, Gabby,
Yeah.
where's Madison go when I'm working out?
She could go anywhere except on the black mat,
So they just
and they know that. That's one of
But
the
listen, there's no
guidelines.
rules, so that rule, she may or
It's
may
a
not go on the
guideline.
It's a guideline.
It's a guideline because that's not always true, right? The mom with the stroller can bring her stroller
So-
onto the black mat.
I might pick
but-
up your kid. I'm on the black mat.
Yeah.
So let
so-
me ask all the big question, which is there's guidelines, no rules. What if something has to be enforced?
Addressed.
Yeah.
Oh. And here, I will
Okay,
absolutely.
So I bring in my daughter,
Yeah, okay, you brought in your daughter.
and she's literally
Screaming.
shitting on your floor because she will do that. She'll just pull her pants down. I've taught her a few things. That's one of them. I was like, just poop wherever you are. I try to like not on the grass, on the rocks. Like I'll yell at her, like go on the rocks. But she's on the floor, and she's pooping.
Let's work this way through a hypothetical. All right, let's say this sounds like a 8:30 a.m. class.
It
You've gone.
happens, Randy,
You're the
it
dad at the mom's class,
Yeah,
and
I would
you've
be
brought
there.
your 2 children, and your daughter is on the black mats.
Pooping.
Pooping. Well, we're going to probably have to say like, hey,
Hey.
Jason, I know that you wanted to be the best hour of your day, but I need your help real quick. And then without trying to skip a beat too much, I'm going to provide you all the resources you need to clean up that DEFCON 2. You're going to do that. Your child might be crying a little bit. I'm going to try to facilitate. This is an extreme example, but I'm going to try to facilitate
Not that extreme.
managing
It's quite normal.
managing that child. So she's probably not panicking. She's probably
No,
not
she's just
crying.
pooping. She's
yeah.
good.
All right. Well, like any good
She's
puppy.
having a great time.
Yeah, she doesn't
Like
know
any
anything
good
is
puppy, I
wrong.
guess I'm
You're
gonna do
really
the
good at
bag
cleaning it up,
thing.
so you'll probably just
Yeah.
clean it up real quick.
Hey,
I don't clean it.
Go wipe your kid's butt,
I'm
and
just
we're
like-
going to continue forth. I'm going to probably put a cone there for now. I'm going to mop up that shit later. And
Literally.
at some point in time, there might be a sidebar conversation that happens in not view of other clients, other athletes, and saying like, hey,
Yeah.
Your kid.
your
can't-
kid is invited here. Your kid is not invited.
This is a topic of
Yeah.
contentious
It-
nature.
It
right?
might seem like far fetched, but this is not that unusual.
So I think there's multiple variations of this, but I think it still goes back to the point that I made earlier, which is like, hey, does this guideline aid the culture of the gym or detract from the culture of the gym, right? So if it's chaotic and if it's not kept in check, it is clearly taking away from the culture of
Yes.
the gym. If it creates a family vibe where everybody abides by the guidelines, it is now a value add to the culture inside of the gym.
I would argue it's one of the things that really sets us apart from everybody else because we are indulging the idea that you are the athlete, that your family is part of your health and wellness story, it is part of your fitness, and that then we will really say this. You don't think that Madison seeing you exercise is creating unknown good in her life trajectory?
For sure.
It's huge. So if you're hiding some of the best things from your family with your ability to do hard work with other adults, or let's add that one step further. Your child now knows how to manage themselves around other adults.
Yeah, just general social behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
Where it's like, oh, you just can't do that. That's not appropriate. Don't do that.
yeah, and then
Hey,
another
you're not
adult says
listening
that.
right now. Yeah.
Everybody starts policing everybody else's kids. I will absolutely, when the kids are getting rowdy, walk right into the back room and go, and I won't yell it on the mic, hey, and they know. They have their own little subculture. There's like a pecking order
They're
and
like,
shit.
foot trine's coming. Don't do that anymore.
But then they'll do epic shit. Gabby, remember during class the other day when Liam, our son, he's 7, had all the kids with PVC pipes and he was running a small class all by himself? In like the kids' room where we do kids' class. My son is like, hey, flat back. Hey, knees back. I don't know what that means for my child in the grand scheme of things.
He's a better coach than you.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he is. Yeah. He's a sweet boy, too.
But no, you
but
guys.
he has my personality.
Oh,
so.
even better. That's why he's a better coach.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
he's little Gabby.
You're No, I mean, you send me videos. I'm sure you send them to Fern as well of whether it's the announcements for competitions you have or other coaches doing class evaluations you sent recently. You sent me an excessive amount of texts, so I can't remember them all. But they're all definitely about, like, hey, this community here is cool. And you've taken that same vibe and brought it to us at Best Hour. You were one of our first 4 ambassadors.
Yep.
Randy over there was one of them.
Yep.
And, I mean, you guys, to this day, bring that same energy and same vibe to everything you do.
I get asked all the time, what gym software should a gym owner use? And the short answer is, I don't care. What I care about is the companies like PushPress design software that helps gym owners run better businesses. So if you're working with a software company, you're not happy, and you don't know what to do with the information that software gives you every single day, check out PushPress. They've got built-in systems like the 180-day journey that we helped them build inside of PushPress Grow that'll help you interact with your clients at a better clip in order to improve your retention. So if that's something you're interested, reach out to those guys at PushPress and help you run a better box today.
Going back to the original topic, quitting your job is huge.
Yeah.
How scary was that?
I just did it. It was really scary.
And we joke, the joke on the Monday call, whenever Boucher's on there, whenever somebody talks about quitting their job, we're like, you gotta go shit on the boss's car. Like,
But it was scary for like.
to shit on their car?
Yeah.
Well, I think
that was fun.
Was
I
probably
think
the
it's
scary
totally
part,
worth it.
Actually.
Well, what was it? What was scary? What were you
Shitting
gonna
on
say?
the car.
Gabby, I don't think they know this. So when we bought Midstate CrossFit, Gabby quit her job.
I did. I had to go back to my job.
Gabby quit her job. She was going to be the primary matriarchal lead of Midstate CrossFit.
Now that you say that, I do remember that. Yeah.
And I was going to be the insurance holder and the worker of the shifts because I only work 7 days a month, right? I work 14 total mornings. Like, Gabby was going to do the thing. And then when COVID hit, she went back to work. And then we, for 2 years or so, we're doing rebuild Midstate, rebuild our coaching staff. We lost like almost every coach, not everyone. There's a few that are still with us today that like really saved the day. And then over time, it became clear that, all right, maybe it's more like Brian's like unreasonable hospitality. Maybe I'm the front of the house and Gabby's the back of the house. And maybe that's actually the correct formula for our dynamics. I think it's all different when Gabby quits now, though.
Like, quitting my job was not scary in the aspect if I knew I could do it or not, because we had built the thing to make sure that we could do it. So that was not the scary part. The scary part was just all the mental stuff that goes with.
Yeah, it's just
this was my life. Now what's it gonna look like?
Yeah, it's a little bit of an identity thing.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, this is what I do. This is who I am. And then you say, I'm going to go do a new thing.
Right.
Which, I don't know which one's more scary, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like you guys had run the numbers. Like we had walked through that whole scenario like 15 different ways. Like, yeah, you guys can do this. Like it's gonna be fine. You're like, I don't, it's scary. And I'm like, but is it?
Gabby has said this again. She wanted to gamble on herself. She says this all the time. You say, we're gonna be all right. Like we're not gonna fail. These are things that she says. We're not gonna fail. Like, that's little Gabby. That's a badass thing for her to say, right? It's just in private. We're not gonna fail. There's no failing, right?
You need that attitude.
We get to define what success means.
Well, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, you remember, like the biggest risk is you. Your biggest lever is also you.
Yes.
You just have to know, can you utilize yourself appropriately? Which is like, hey, I'm willing. And I was talking to this afterwards, which is, like, hey, how do you're looking at, when do you do certain things? I'm like, well, some of that is you. Like, are you somebody that you can bet on? And if the answer is yes, then make the bet. I'm not saying you should never take risk, but it should be calculated, and it should be calculated in your favor, which is like, I'm good at this. Like, I can work through that. Like, that's a safe bet, which is like, oh, I can do these things, but like, that's still a bad bet considering the circumstances. So like, all of my skill sets are still deficient if I move in the wrong direction.
We're so fresh with her resignation that we're not even.
Not even. It's like a month ago.
Monday.
Yeah.
She resigned a month ago because she's just a good doobie.
Yeah.
Oh, but your last day.
My last
Got
day
it. Okay,
was
understood.
Friday of last
I was going to say, we talked about this much longer ago than last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's official. When we get back from the CrossFit Games, we are a new thing. We metamorphosize into Gabby doesn't have to, because even if you get to really be in it. Like you're not half in the nonprofit, half in the Midstate.
Yeah.
No, like let's fucking build our own nonprofit, and we're gonna call that Midstate. Like,
Let's calm down a little bit.
Yeah, relax. Quadrant 4.
Tell the people out there listening, the other affiliate owners, one thing they can do to move towards having more authenticity at the box.
you? Me?
No, you go. No, you go.
There you go.
I think you have to know your why. I think you really do have to know your why. It sounds like such a platitude thing to say, but if you're an affiliate owner and you want a lean culture, you just have to say that explicitly. If you want to be a technician and be the best mover of people, like that's your thing. At the sacrifice of relationships, that's how much you care about human movement. Well, just embrace that. But somewhere in there's a really cool Venn diagram, and if you nail it, people will come to you. They'll see excellence. I'm not saying that we're good at everything, because we got a lot of work to do, but in regards to where we want to lean, what we want our affiliates to feel like, we know that story.
Yeah.
And you can too. You just got to figure out what yours is.
Yeah.
Check out the Spirit of Midstate.
Yeah.
On YouTube channels everywhere.
Shout out to Midstate.
Actually, only on one YouTube channel. Best Hour of Their Day, done by Nate, featuring these guys. It's awesome. Well, and I also want to say thank you for being an awesome ambassador for Best Hour
Newly
of Their
minted
Day.
level 4 affiliate inside of Affiliate U.
Yeah. And
1
soon
year-
to be level 4 coach.
1 year ago, I said I was working really hard on it. I said L4 2024.
It was
I
here.
failed.
It was
I
here.
failed my L4
Oh, it was in
evaluation as
Madison,
a CrossFit coach.
Consolation prize.
But consolation prize.
get a fake
Apparently,
L4
we're an
from us.
L4 affiliate.
But you're
So,
going to get it.
Yeah.
That was last year.
yeah.
Cool.
Hey, thank you,
Yeah.
Bouchers. Thanks,
Yeah,
Gabby.
we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you. See you guys
Thank
next
you for
time.
having us.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.